Hello, my name is Reroll Zero, and welcome to another episode of Sarasalandcast. For this episode, we will talk about uh, the OPI nail polish colors with the Microsoft Series or Xbox Series Halo and Forza. I was really disappointed because beforehand I went out and I'm not, I know it's like there's so many stories about people scalping, but no, I went out and I bought the nail polish colors, and I was really upset because after the fact I found out that um and what made it worse is that the a lot of the gaming publications, right, they did not specify what you had to do to earn the colors, or rather they did, but they only put it in like the basis of terms. Basically, what you're supposed to do is buy $20 worth of the nail polish colors, right? And then you get a code. But unfortunately, what happens is that you have to buy for the Forza one. You have to buy physically at an Ulta Beauty store or anything like that. And the other thing is, if you want the Halo color, you have to buy through Amazon, and that what makes it worse because I didn't know that going or beforehand. So I bought a lot of nail polish, and yeah, I was because I wanted the code, I wanted the skin, and frankly, the funny thing is the skin isn't even worth it. The funny thing is with the Forza thing too, I don't even feel like redeeming it. Granted, you could say that in all honesty, that I was a mindless consumer and just bought things to just buy things. But again, at the same time, they didn't word it specifically, so I just went out and just, you know, it was not worth it in general to go out and buy the colors because what's even more annoying too is that, sorry, just clearing my voice for a second, that the skin looks all right. What makes it worse too is that for the Forza one, when you look at it, it's just kind of like a gradient. So I'm in all seriousness, I'm not I'm not frustrated or anything at the local employees or anything because that was they said I was the first customer to try for the promotion, so they didn't know what it was all about, and they only been handed a flimsy piece of paper, like straight up. So they had never. I think they were saying that they never handled something like that before. So again, I'm not upset at the local employees because again, that's just I'm way more upset at again the gaming publications and Microsoft because Microsoft they are OP, or they came up with the promotion, right? But again, the colors don't really reflect what you get in game. For Forza, it's like what's it called? Uh, it's just like it's almost just a gradient of like orange and pink almost and I think it's for the photo they took it on the like the McLaren car, right? And I'm like kind of disappointed that they didn't try harder, cause like it's just a gradient. Like the nail polish colors look amazing, or at the very least they looked beautiful, and that's all you can do is just a gradient. Like there's so many other. I know it's like it's from an official source, but at the same time, there's so many other like amazing fan created designs that you could have asked one of the community to handle it for you or something like that. And unfortunately, so that's just for Forza, for um for what's it called, for Halo, it's the skin is like purple and there's like a few sparkles like sprinkled throughout. But again, it doesn't look super amazing. It kind of just looks generic. And again, yeah, uh, technically, you could say that I'm not being angry with the local employees because again, that's just it's not human error. It's just, and it's not people being inept. It was just, the promotion is just badly worded by the publications, and then on their website they clarify, or at least their article clarifies, that you have to buy through Amazon for the Halo one. But again, with the Halo one, I think I'm gonna like insanely upset because again, it just looks really generic, and the nail polish colors look relative. I don't know much about nail polish, but at the very least, they look relatively amazing for what they are. And unfortunately, the Halo skin doesn't doesn't project it. If anything, what they should really do is just seriously, they should just give out those skins for free, because the fact of the matter is, they should just give them out for free. They don't really stand out, and I swear I have the whole time that I played Halo, and even though the ones for Halo apparently were needed to be at February before, or needed to be in February for the event, I have not seen anybody with the skin or with the color in Halo at all. And I just think that's hilarious because, there's so little interest that, that people don't really want the skin or don't care for it. That, because you would assume that I would see it at least once, but again, I haven't seen it, and yeah, that's disappointing. So they should just give it out for free. They're charging so much for items on their in-game shop that they barely worked on, or if they didn't barely work on it, the work doesn't show up. Because I have a philosophy about and I probably said this before, about how a lot of Western games, they'll play well, but a lot of times they look ugly. Halo is a big case in point of that, where Halo is generally fun, but it always looks ugly. And then with a lot of Japanese or Eastern games, they'll always look good, but a lot of times they'll be lacking in gameplay. Street Fighter is one of those things where it's iconic for a reason, right? But for the most intents and purposes, when you try and play something like that, it gets very boring very quick, because there's not a lot of thought going into the game. There's it's just one guy versus another, and I get it, but at the same time I don't get it, because why would you work on a concept so long and yet this is your final product? So again, same thing with Halo. Why would it's Halo Infinite has the same problem like GTA 5, where Grand Theft Auto 5, where the single player is not perfection, but you see that they put enough effort into it where you see that this is their final product. They did an okay job. And then with multiplayer, it's not that they barely cared about it. They just didn't care enough, because the fixes, and same thing with Battlefront 2. I'm not trying to group all of this badness together, but what I'm trying to say is that they just didn't care enough, because at the very least with Grand Theft Auto 5, they were like, well, sorry if this happened. Here's $500,000 in-game cash. That's at the very least something. And I love that the fact that Halo Infinite and Star Wars Battlefront, they never did that. So because at the in the sense of GTA, the characters, the huge issue was, and we had a couple of friends that was the issue, and I remember that's why they wanted to stop playing Grand Theft Auto 5, because they were angry, slash upset, because again, why would I want to play if my progress is going to be reset anyway? So that's another. So Halo Infinite has the same problem, where they clearly worked on one side, but then they left the other side leaning or looking, off kilter, And it's just absolutely awful. Sorry, the main part of this Sarasalandcast was to talk about the OP nail polish colors, and unfortunately, the skin, the skins for Forza and Halo, they don't reflect the actual product. They don't reflect of something that looks so beautiful. So, anyway, thank you for listening to this Sarasalandcast, and my name is Reroll Zero, and this is me signing off.